on RollerJam. It's a WSL Clash of the Titans. The California Quakes, led by Sean Atkinson, have been seething since failing to score a single fourth-period point and handing the New York Enforcers an easy win last time they met. Can the Ack-Attack forget the Bulldog heard around the world and regroup his troops for the impending war? See for yourself as the California Quakes take on the New York Enforcers. Next on RollerJam.
Florida, Universal Studios in the home of the World Skating League. Tonight's matchup, the primetime team of the WSL, the New York Enforcers, take the track against the California Quakes. Welcome, everyone, to RollerJam Arena. I'm Ken Resnick, along with Lee Rehrman and roller derby living legend Buddy Atkinson Jr. The California Quakes, certainly one of the premier teams in the WSL. The best way to describe them right now, divided over the romance between their captain, Sean Atkinson, and Denise Loden of the Florida Sundogs, and Lee Rehrman, the New York Enforcers, the primetime players.
For the primetime players, and these Sisters of Suffering, they always come to play. They never seem to be divided. Ugly, yes. Divided, never.
And, of course, when we talk about the Sisters of Suffering in the first period, they will be going head-to-head with the Bod Squad. The premier players there, I would think it'll come down to Janet Abraham and Stacy Blitch.
Well, Stacy Blitch, we know she likes to be showy. We know that she likes to be gaudy. But she always has one heck of a time with Janet Abraham and the physical play of Janet Abraham. But that's going to be a premier battle. But talk about the speed, Ken.
And now your thoughts. It'll come down to lead jammers. I think Amy Craig and Heather Gunnan will cancel each other out. Perhaps the wild cards for the women would be Cindy Zimmerman for the California Quakes, and certainly you can't count out Shelley Rossell.
Well, Shelley Rossell, she always comes to play. She's one of those few players like her teammates. Karen Magnuson can both jam and block equally well. You're absolutely right, Ken. It's going to be speed on speed, speed what we need. If it stays physical and low scoring, it's an enforcer game. If it's a runaway game, favors the Quakes.
And on the men's side, it will certainly focus on Sean Atkinson, Mark D'Amato. We have talked about that many times and certainly will again. Buddy Atkinson Jr., last time out, the New York Enforcers had the scare of their lives. They almost became the first WSL team to lose to the Texas Rustlers. Obviously, they were thinking they were invincible. Now they may be thinking perhaps that's not so. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, the good thing is that they stay constant in how they manipulate and run their team. And I'll tell you what, I think DeMarco is very confident that he's going to win, and he's cocky as heck and always has been.
Well, certainly Mark D'Amato never at a loss for words, and Mark D'Amato will tell you every time he goes on the track, he expects to win. Win if you can, cheat if you must. That music means only one thing. Here come the elite of the WSL, the New York Enforcers.
Five-borough lineup in the Sisters of Suffering. Whatever you want to say about these guys, Ken, one thing they are is consistent. And if the New York Enforcers are consistent, these Quakes are anything but. They are absolutely volatile. And Sean Atkinson right now, he's smiling, raising the roof. But he's been raising a lot of eyebrows here in the World Skating League with this apparent budding romance with the Florida Sundogs and Denise Loden. And for the California Quakes, we have Heather Sunderman, Stacy Blitch, Brooke Sunderman, Faith Urban, and Jamie Konomak. And for the New York Enforcers, Janet Abraham, Edie Bowman, April Tootle, Karen Magnuson, one of the most versatile players here in the World Skating League, and of course, Linda Leisure rounding out the starting lineup for the New York Enforcers.
And there again, the racehorse start, as we always begin every period here in the WSL. It's Jamie Konomak and Heather Sunderman out for the California Quakes. And Linda Leisure's out for the New York Enforcers. Look for her and Shelley Rossell to really step up today, Ken, to make up for Heather Gunnan, who seems to be hampered still by that injured hamstring. Down goes Linda Leisure. Now it's Sunderman coming up all along with Sydney Zimmerman, or rather Jamie Konomak, for the California Bot Squad, closing in.
And don't forget that New York's Linda Leisure is still down injured on the infield.
Dropping back to block, trying to help her teammate Stacy Blitch, who is certainly, along with Janet Abraham, two of the best blockers in the league. And again, Jamie Konomak is able to sneak right by Janet Abraham, who gets tripped up in Heather Sunderman's skate.
And it was a pretty good job by the Bod Squad of the California Quakes. But more importantly, 4 of the 6 points were scored by fate almost, as Linda Leisure, who's down on the infield apparently nursing an injury, could not make it away from where she was laying, and they scored 4 points because they lapped her twice.
And right off, the new California Quakes off to a tremendous start on that jam, picking up 6 points, and certainly Linda Leisure looks to be injured down in the corner of the track, unable to even get back to her own bench. And now both the jammers go down. Heather Gunnan back up very quickly, but right out along with her is Faith Urban. And I'll tell you, Hawk, bad hamstring or not, there's no way Faith Urban has got the speed to stay with Heather Gunnan.
Well, absolutely not. But I tell you, if Linda Leisure is hurt, then these enforcers are in big trouble, Ken.
And you see Gunnan give Urban the elbow, send her right into the rail. Now dropping back is Brooke Sunderman and Jamie Konomak for the California Quakes. A double block as they await Heather Gunnan, who slows down, thinks what to do, tries to come up with some strategy. They set the double block, smart move by Gunnan, just right underneath, and cuts off the jam.
And a key to today's game we've talked about is Heather Gunnan not being at full strength. And if she's not at full strength, well, she still has enough left to go after Brooke Sunderman, the Brooke House of the California Quakes, one of the largest females for the California Quakes. But Heather Gunnan, you see a good shot of the wrapped hamstring there, goes right through the double block. The California Quakes are up 6-2, but the New York Enforcers are clawing back.
You've seen the Hollywood version. Now meet the Asian Charlie's Angels. Christy Chung is Angel Angie Wong, a sharp mind in solving crimes.